Good evening, my dark and lovely souls. I'm Lenny Graves. I read tarot cards. I do astrology, a bunch of fun things. But tonight I want to talk about a little something different, and I want to do a little something different. I want to show you something, a little story, and tell you a little story or fable, if you will. And it's about this pipe. And a friend of mine found this pipe in Asia, and it's beautiful. It's old, it's hand-carved, it's lovely, right? I love it. And when I was with her, she dropped it one day. It hit the tile, it broke in 5 pieces, and she was going to throw it away. And she's a bit of a witch herself, and she said she thought when something was broken, it was time just to let it go. And I said, I don't know about that. So I took it and I worked on it a little bit, and I think it's just about as good as new. And that reminded me of a story. You've probably heard this story before, but sometimes I believe that when a person tells a story, they add something to it, they tell it in a different way. Maybe we can take something away from that, right? The story that I'm talking about is a farmer and his 2 pots. A long time ago, a brother with clay made 2 pots for a farmer. The farmer used them to fetch water, and this was a long time ago. And the way he did that is he held a stick over his back, and the 2 pots held from ropes. And he would go down to the river and fill them, and then come back to his house, and that's how they got their water. One day, as he was walking, he kind of stumbled a little bit. The pot went down. One of them cracked, kind of broke. The farmer took the pot back, and he fixed it with pitch and all that kind of stuff. It's a long time ago. And though the pot worked, it lost water. So by the time he would come back from the river, he would have lost maybe 1/3 to half of that pot's water, while the other one remained full. Now, my dark and lovely soul, if you did not know this, anything that's made with love and compassion has a little bit of a soul in it. The broken pot every day observed how it lost water. It wasn't as good as the other pot. It sank lower, it couldn't bring back as much water to the farm. And the pot developed like a sense of self-loathing, if you will, because he couldn't do our purpose. Whenever we're denied our purpose, don't we feel like the worst thing is we're not hitting our goals or doing what we want? The pot felt the same way. He tried and tried. He tried to be a pot, right? But he was broken. He couldn't do it right. So one day his anguish actually hit the gods, and the gods gave the pot the ability to speak to a farmer just once. And so a pot decided to talk to a farmer, and the pot asked the farmer, "Why do you keep me? The other pot works just fine. The water comes back, but I lose water every day. Why did you keep me?" And the farmer looked and he said, "You're foolish. You don't know?" He said, "When you're broke, I realized you lost water, but I loved you. You're something that was given to me. And as it was broke, as I saw you lose the water, I planted seeds as I carried you. And every time you came back, you watered those seeds. And if you look back, there's a beautiful garden that I've planted that you watered. You were responsible and bring so much joy to my life. Not just water, but joy." And if the pot could weep, the pot would weep. Because in that moment, he realized even in his brokenness, he had worth, he had value. In fact, he had transformed into something that was more than a pot. My dark and lovely soul, if you've ever been broken, if anyone's ever hurt you, if life has downtrodden you and you feel like you're in pieces, there is nothing in the world that can't just pull you right back together and make you new. You might never be quite the same. You might never have the same purpose or the same thing, but you still have purpose. So my dark and lovely soul, when you're feeling beat down, when you're feeling sad, take it from me. We all get beat down. We all get sad. We're all broken. Nobody ever winds up exactly the way they wanted to be. But that's the beauty and the journey of life, isn't it? Is in our brokenness and our trials and tribulations, we find the best parts of ourselves. So my dark and lovely soul, I see the best part of yourself. See the best part of yourself. You're not broken. If you know somebody who's broken, share this with them too, because no one is that broken that they can't be fixed. No love's that broken that it can't be fixed. No relationship, no job, no career, nothing. You can fix anything if you put your heart and love into it. And even if it's not quite the same, it's still going to have worth and value. My dark and lovely souls, I'm Lenny Graves. You can find me here on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of good stuff. Have a great night.